Kia ora koutou, welcome to another lesson right here at Pūtātara Music, another raku lesson, another guitar lesson, and today we're going to be doing Te Kahukura, a beautiful Waiata by Hōhepa Tamehana, beautiful Waiata, and yeah, just a beautiful song that is a cool song to do. It's all about giving feathers to a bird to watch it fly into the night and to soar high. So I guess if you want to kind of look at it in context, something to koha to someone. But we're going to be getting into this one. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we've got plenty of content up there, some other guitar lessons on our YouTube channel, and we've got plenty more to come as well. If you've got any other whakaaro, please put it into the comment section. If you've got a request, also put that into the comment section. Make it respectful though, and it's just good to share your whakaaro if you've got some other insights that I may not know. So welcome to that. As per usual, we do have the timestamps in the description of the video, so you can go straight to those timestamps if you just want to go straight to the chords, verse, etc., and just learn the Waiata. Those are all in the description, and pinned in the comments as per usual is the lyrics as well as the kupu, so the words, plus the English interpretation of the song. Cool. Beautiful Waiata in the key of C. That is about it, so let's go. Ka pai koutou. So this song is in the key of C. I'm going to be doing this in bar chords, and there are a few extensions into this. Now for this particular Waiata, it is a song that I've just created a version that we do. But there are many different versions of it, many different keys, and you just need to work it out. Like if you want to just do the verse and the chorus once, ka pai. I do it twice, that's all good. And the way I intro it might be a little bit differently to how you want to do it. That's all good. This is just to be able to give you the chords to those sections, so that way you know what's going on, and then you can mix it around however you want. So we're in the key of C. And this is just in a standard 4/4 timing, so there isn't anything uncommon about it. There is one little time signature change in the first verse, which just it goes to a 2/4, so it just cuts the count in half pretty much, and you just count two counts in that bar before returning back to a 4/4. So you will see that up on this little section here, where you will see it in the verse 1. You'll see a 2/4 that just is that time signature change. Also for this, there is extension chords, so we're going to go with a C major 7. And then we'll start to build off that. Cool, our strum pattern, we are just going to go. Alright, that is pretty much just a down, up accent. So remember, with our right hand, want to make sure it's nice and relaxed. We shouldn't be tensing up in the right hand at all. We should have a nice and relaxed hand. Now when I do the accent, I want to make sure that I get this part of my palm, and it's more of a flick of the wrist. And I'm not trying to beat my guitar up, alright? So you don't see any kind of weird or large arm movements like this or anything like that. Everything comes from the wrist, so it comes from this area here. Straightforward 4/4, so it is just down, up, and then the accent, or the chug, slap, to mimic the snare of a drum set. And then for that next little bit, I'm pretty much just doing a little down, down, up, chug. Alright, so as long as you're keeping in the 4/4 count, that's the main thing that needs to happen. If you have a slightly different way of playing the strum, all good. Let's get into the chords. So C major 7 is our starting chord. It is in the key of C, but we're going to do a C major 7. Now what does that mean? All it just means is that I'm adding in the major 7th note, which is a B in this key, or for this chord. So I'm going to play this in bar chords. So I'm going to bar on the 3rd fret here, and I'm going to play an A-shaped style bar chord for this. So instead of just playing the regular A shape like this, so I've got the bar with my first finger on the 3rd fret, and then barring on the 5th fret here. So I'm barring the 5th fret from the D, the G, and the B string, or the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th string. I'm going to bar all that, and then I'm only barring from the A string all the way through to the high E. So that is A, D, G, B, and E, or the 5th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st string, right? Not gonna put a fret on the low E. Don't need that one, but we are going to mute it, so we're not going to be playing this low E note. Now that is just a C, and that's all good. You can play Te Kahukura with just that. That's what we call like a block chord. So this is just a basic chord. It's just got the 3 notes of the triad of the chord. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a major 7th note into that. So that way what I'm doing is I'm now getting 4 notes together. It gives it more of a flourishing kind of sound. That's how I kind of hear a major 7th. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, instead of barring on the 5th fret here, I'm going to put my 4th finger, my little pinky, on the 5th fret of the B string, or the 2nd string. My 2nd finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the D string, the G, sorry, which is the 3rd string, and then my 3rd finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the D string, or the 4th string. So I should get that looking chord there with the bar. As I said, from the A string down, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, for this particular song, I do some embellishments. Now, what the embellishments means is that I just give a little bit more color. You don't have to do this. If you just want to play the normal C, that's all good. If you want to play a C major 7, that's all good. If you want to try play the embellishments, that's sweet as well. All the embellishment is that I'm doing is I'm lifting off my 4th finger here. I'm lifting off my pinky, and then that opens it up, and now it's becoming like a C major 7 sus2. And then I hammer on where that pinky was on the 5th fret of the B string. And then so I'm hammering on, and then it brings the 3rd of the chord back in, meaning an E note, and then it just becomes C major 7. So you get this sus2, and then you get the C major 7. Now the thing with that is when I do the hammer on, it kind of sounds like that I'm getting kind of like this little bit of extra flavor on it. And it just kind of just makes it sound a little bit nicer, you know, or just gives it a bit more groove, a little bit more feel, and adds in just a different bit of harmony, having that sus2 coming into the C major 7. And that's what you get. So open and then hammer on. So I'll show you from this angle, like that. Now, just like with our right hand, I'm not going so hard. It's just like that. Alright? So you'll see me do a couple of these throughout the song. Like I'll start to move my pinky around to add a little bit of flavor on the top with some extension notes into the chord. So we've got C major 7, and that's going to go around for 4 bars, for 4 counts on the first bar of the intro. Alright, so what's going to happen is the first bar is going to be for 4 counts on C major 7. The second bar is only going to be for 2 counts on the C major 7, and then it's going to go to G7 on the 3rd and 4th count of that second bar. Now G7, just like our G chord, and you can just play G if you want to. So we're going to bar the 3rd fret right across the 3rd fret there. Then you're going to have the 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G, or your 3rd string. Have your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the A. Then you can put your pinky on underneath, and that's just a regular G, right? But to make a G7, that means a dominant 7, so I'm going to flatten the 7th note of the chord, and I'm now just going to bring in an F, which is this note here. And then, when I play that, so I take my pinky off to open that up, that's the chord that you get. So that's a G7. this is how it will start, okay? So we're going to go with the C major 7 for 4 counts, and then C major 7 for 2 counts, G7 for the 3 and the 4 count. Then we're going to go to D minor 7. So it'll sound like this. I'll do it up until that D minor 7. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'll do that one more time. So this is what it will sound like. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to go up to a D minor 7 after we hit that G7. D minor 7 is just up here on the 5th fret. We're going to have the bar. We're going to have our 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the B string. We're just going to put our 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Now this is a 5-string bar chord, so we're not going to include the low E on the bar, and we're just going to strum from the A string down to the high E. Okay. So we shouldn't have this low note in there. Now sometimes with this embellishment I'll add in, it's not a D note, that's a C note. So then that's just emphasizing that D minor 7, because you've got a dominant 7th in there, so and you're adding in a C note on top of that. It's already ringing through with this note here, which is a C, and then this is just an octave up. So those two notes are the same note, octave apart. And you'll get that sound. So sometimes I'll do that embellishment with that D minor 7. Then we're going to go back to just a regular G. So just like what we showed before, just with our regular G on the 3rd fret, barring of the 3rd frets. And then we're going to go back to C major 7, so back to the home chord. And then it does this really cool change. This brings in like a substitute chord, and instead of playing the 6th chord, it plays the 6th, but it plays a 6 major. So instead of playing the relative minor, which would be an A minor, which is that one there, they play a A7. So that's an A major 7 that's dominant. Okay, with a dominant 7. So again, with dominant 7ths, it's just taking the 7th note of that chord and then flattening it down a half a step. So in this case it will be G that's been added into this A. So just like how we play G here, but we're going to move it up 2 frets onto the 5th fret. So we've got the 5th fret barred right across. Our 2nd finger is going to be on the 6th fret of the G, or the 3rd string. Our 3rd finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the A string, or the 5th string. And then right underneath that, we aren't going to have our pinky. Ooh, thought I was going to put pinky on. And then that will open up the G note here to add in the A7. Yeah, cool. Now sometimes with the A7 is that you'll hear me add another G note here. So very similar to what I did with that D minor 7 and adding the dominant 7th note twice with an octave. Same with this here, is that I'm playing this G and this G. These two G's, these two notes are G. Same note, okay? So that will be an A7. Then we go back to D minor 7 for 4 counts. Then back to regular G, so G major. Then we're going to go to C major 7 for another 4 counts. Then we're going to do the turnaround, which is the 5 chord of the key, and that is G7. Alright, so that intro should sound like this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor 7, F to tiga re re pai to G, re re rungarawara, C major 7, and turn around on G. Ma te kahukura ka re re te manu, mana ururu e. Alright, so we're into the verse. Now the verse, that's pretty much all the chords that you need to know for this song. So the verse is 6 on to C major 7 for 2 bars, so that's going to be 8 counts in total. But you've got them in, remember the bar is just 4 counts per bar, so we've got 2 bars of C major 7. And then it has the time signature change, but it just stays on that C major 7. So it goes to a 2-4, and then C major 7, so you're just adding in another 2 counts. So in total you should have 10 counts of C major 7 for the verse. And then it moves up to the D minor 7 into that D minor 7 once that it moves on to Ka Rere Koe. We're going to play D minor 7 for 2 bars, so that's going to be 8 counts of that. Then we're going to go to G. And then G is just for 2 bars, so that's another 8 count. Then we're going to go to C major 7 for 4 counts, so that's 1 bar. And then do another turnaround on to G7. And that's the verse, alright? So that's pretty straightforward with that. Not too hard at all. When the chorus comes into it, it then goes to C major 7. So you're going to hear on the G7, on the turnaround of the verse, you're going to hear that G7, then you're going to Moana, A, C7, Takua, Waiata, get to D minor 7. And we got to go to G. Rere to tika, rere pai, rere ungarawara. So back to C major 7 and back to G7 for the turnaround. Cool. So then that's how you get that first part down. Just after that D minor 7 going to G, what you hear me do is another little hammer on, and all I'm just doing is going from a G, and then I'm lifting off my little pinky here to open it up, the chord to make it a G7, and then I just hammer on just that pinky, and then that takes it back to just regular G major. It's just an embellishment to give it just a little bit more flavor and a little bit more goodness on top of that harmony. So that's what happens in the chorus there. So to play the chorus just one more time. And Moana and C major 7 la na na to D minor 7, and then to the G, and then hammer on with the pinky. And back to Moana. If you want to repeat the chorus, or we'll just go back to the verse. So that G7 is the turnaround that leads you back into the verse. Okay, so the way that the song structure goes for this particular version that we've made is intro, verse, chorus, goes back to the verse, then goes to the chorus, and then goes to the outro. Now the outro is pretty much the same as the chorus. You just add in the A7 just like you did in the outro, in the intro, right? So we'll go from the outro part, and it starts off as just the regular chorus. So we're going Moana, Moana, Paku, Aroha, C major 7 to D minor 7, and now we're going to go to G. So you're just adding in that A7. Very simple to do. So after you go from C major 7 for 2 bars in the outro, D minor 7 for 2 bars in the outro, followed then by G for 2 bars, you're going to play C major 7 for 1 bar, and you're going to repeat the line Rere tō tika rere pai. You're going to repeat that line a couple of times, but you're going to go to C major 7 to A7. So we're going from the start of that outro. 1, 2, 3. Then the line that we're going to repeat a few times. It's a C major 7, to A7, D minor 7, to G, Cool, and for the last 4 bars of that outro, it just vamps on that C major 7, and I just keep hammering on to make that embellishment with my pinky finger, and then that is that song. So you know how to play it all the way from the start to the finish. Have a go, have a practice with it, and then you can have a little play along with the jam track. But remember, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of content up there. More to come. If you have a request, put it into the comment section. If you have another whakaaro, put it into the comment section. Like to get some more knowledge around these waiatas, and it's a great thing to do to preserve that mātauranga. Other than that, kia pai tō rā, kia pai tō pō, ka kite anō, chur.
Ma